Well, there has been a very eye-opening stat emerge to exactly how bad Angel Reese is when shooting the ball, specifically right under the...
The numbers don't lie, and they just revealed Angel Reese in the most brutal way possible. According to new statistics, Reese ranks 30th out of all relevant WNBA players in terms of shooting efficiency, with a pitiful 46.4% true shooting percentage, while rookie rival Caitlin Clark comfortably holds 6th place with an impressive 58.3%. Reese's complete meltdown in response. The most basic basketball talent has turned in the numbers don't lie, and they just revealed Angel Reese in the most brutal way possible. According to new statistics, Reese ranks 30th out of all relevant WNBA players in terms of shooting efficiency, with a pitiful 46.4% true shooting percentage, while rookie rival Caitlin Clark comfortably holds 6th place with an impressive 58.3%. Reese's complete meltdown in response. The most basic basketball talent has turned into Reese's greatest weakness, and the basketball world is blazing with these debilitating efficiency rankings that could irreparably harm her career trajectory. Welcome back. Today on Basketball Nation, we're dissecting something that has the WNBA community as a whole in complete disarray. The shooting efficiency figures have recently fallen, and they have presented an unmistakable picture, particularly with regard to Angel Reese. Reese's greatest weakness, and the basketball world is blazing with these debilitating efficiency rankings that could irreparably harm her career trajectory. Welcome back. Today on Basketball Nation, we're dissecting something that has the WNBA community as a whole in complete disarray. The shooting efficiency figures have recently fallen, and they have presented an unmistakable picture, particularly with regard to Angel Reese.
Advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. Like, we're going to fix that. Yeah. That's fixable for you. And I think that's probably the biggest.
I believe your shot. Let's dive right into this shocking real shooting percentage. This metric, which considers field goals, three-pointers, and free throws to provide us with the most comprehensive image of a player, is more than simply another statistic. It's the one that distinguishes the best from the average in professional basketball. The most recent statistics and the players' scoring effectiveness have rocked the...
That's her right there, and then she drives in and she proceeds to miss shot after shot after shot underneath the rim. I mean, it's some damnedest thing anybody has ever seen.
Let the jaw-dropper Angel take a time to process that Caitlin Clark, in her debut season with the Indiana Fever, has posted a true shooting percentage of 58.3%, placing her 6th among all WNBA players. The difference between these two rookies isn't just obvious, it's a huge chasm that says volumes about their development paths. Reese, who joined the league with comparable fanfare and expectations, is in 30th place with a true shooting percentage of just 46.4%, dead last among relevant players in the league. This isn't just some random statistic. People in professional basketball, whether you start or sit on the bench, is frequently determined by your shooting effectiveness. It's like contrasting a blindfolded throw with a laser-guided missile. One hits its target repeatedly, while the other is everywhere.
You made some comments about Angel Reese. You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes. Okay. Sometimes we do play the race card too much, or when it's not necessary. Because he's trying to make this about come on, black man, protect the sisters. Protect the sisters, brother. This ain't racial. This is about sports. This is about athletic ability. You look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese. Stop it. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You know, she averages the league in most rebounds and double-doubles. Have to throw the ball up 85 times. It's trying to make it racial. It's about sports ability. And she's garbage in terms.
Let's examine Clark's position in respect to the league's well-known players for perspective. She is hanging out with Jonquel Jones. As a rookie, Clark is right there with players like Brittany Gurrier and A. Wilson, who have spent years honing their art and are multiple All-Stars and League MVPs. It's just amazing. Clark has an extensive and remarkable shooting profile. She ranks 13th in the league with 33.9% of her three-point tries from beyond the arc, and her mid-range and inside skills are as potent. She has an outstanding 90.9% success rate in free throw shooting and is fourth in two-point field goal percentage at 53.7%. When you're automatic from the line like that, you're giving your team free points every night. The most impressive thing about Clark's efficiency is that she's doing these stats despite carrying a heavy offensive load. The majority of the WNBA's most effective shooters are role players who only attempt wide-open shots that have been produced by others. Clark, in the meantime, develops her own shots against targeted defenses that are intended to stop her, but she continues to maintain exceptional efficiency numbers throughout the board. Consider that for a moment. Every team that Clark plays against has a specific game plan designed to limit her impact, and defenders are told to stay glued to her from the moment she crosses half court. Despite this constant attention, Clark is shooting like a seasoned player who has played in the league for years. What makes Clark's three-point threat so effective is how it creates a ripple effect throughout her entire offensive arsenal. When defenders rush out to contest her long-range shots, she doesn't panic. Instead, she has developed an elite mid-range and inside finishing game that punishes overeager defenders. This versatility enables her to counter whatever defensive strategy teams throw at her. We witnessed this in action against the historical background makes this even more impressive. In Mercury, Clark faced double teams throughout the fourth quarter, but still managed to make crucial shots when pressed to the corner, demonstrating her poise under pressure. Her 90.9% free throw percentage makes her lethal in clutch situations when games are on the line, giving her team a psychological edge in tight fourth quarter scenarios. The majority of first-year players see a significant decline in their shooting percentages from their college numbers as they adjust to the increased speed and physicality of the professional game. Conversely, players like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston were. Though most rookies thrive in one area, Clark exceeds them in numerous efficiency areas despite being regarded as shooting specialists entering the league. Clark is dominant from a variety of angles, including three-point, mid-range, the basket, and the free throw line. Let's turn our attention to Angel now. The most perplexing part of Reese's performance is how a 63-inch physical specimen with an exceptional wingspan struggles so dramatically with the most basic basketball skill, putting the ball in the hoop. The numbers tell a devastating story despite towering over many defenders. This is because the contrast couldn't be more stark or concerning. Ree has the worst finishing efficiency. He only shoots 40% from point-blank range and stays within 5 feet of the hoop, which is a problem that could endanger one's career and requires quick attention. Basketball analysts find it quite perplexing to watch her sprint to the rim only to break under duress. Her game's video shows recurring technical issues. She darts around the edge, fails to separate enough before trying to score, and improperly uses the backboard. These are basic skills that the majority of players acquire long before they can compete professionally. The fact that Rhea has no other attacking options makes the issue much more worrisome. When your lone consistent scoring source starts to falter, coaches must make difficult choices regarding playing time because her entire offensive value depends on her ability to convert close-range shots. To put it plainly, a competent coach will see this and say, "You're 63, you're too damn inefficient. I can't have you on the court." The brutal truth of professional basketball is that your role is determined by your efficiency, and teams can't afford to keep players on the court during pivotal moments when their shooting becomes a burden. This situation is more concerning because, using a sizable sample size, we are observing a trend rather than a brief period of adjustment. Ree consistently exhibits flaws with the same shooting techniques, which suggests underlying technical concerns. The absence of footage demonstrating Ree especially practicing layup approaches raises more questions regarding her developmental focus. When compared to top post players, this shortcoming is evident when Brittany Gurrier and Ja Wilson convert comparable shots at rates higher than 60%. It demonstrates how peculiar Reese's difficulties are for someone using her physical tools. System differences or defensive attention cannot account for this performance discrepancy. It's a basic competence problem. Reese's effective field goal percentage is even worse at 39.5%. To put this in perspective, effective field goal percentage accounts for the fact that 3-point field goals are worth more than 2-point field goals, which should help players who don't take many threes. Her true shooting percentage of 46.4% is not just below average, it's incredibly inefficient. Reese's phone numbers are, particularly from the free throw line, which is frequently a dependable way for bigs to score. Given that the majority of Reese's shots come from close to the rim, her ranking of 27th in the league is difficult to explain given her height advantage and wingspan. She ought to be converting at a significantly higher rate on these high-percentage opportunities. The distance between participants, such as a Ja Wilson, the story surrounding Caitlin Clark and Reese changed overnight as a result of these efficiency rankings. While Reese faces the biggest challenge of her young career despite having similar physical tools to Wilson and Gurrier, Clark's shooting has made her a rising star with legitimate all-star potential. Brittany Gurrier and Angel Reese are not just statistically dominant, they are also changing reputations throughout the WNBA. Reese's poor performance raises serious concerns about her development trajectory. Only a few months ago, there were no such discussions, but today, because of these efficiency metrics, fans, coaches, and experts are reevaluating both rookies in real time. What are we really learning from all of this? The shooting statistics tell an unavoidable story. Reese is struggling where she should dominate for post player, and shooting efficiency is the fundamental requirement of the position when bigs are on the court. Previously, the conversation focused on different playing styles and personalities, but that plotline has disappeared. Clark is now acknowledged as an elite offensive weapon who elevates her entire team while Reese faces critical questions about fundamental aspects of her game. WNBA coaches make difficult decisions based on production rather than potential. This isn't about style points or even versatility. Rather, it's about consistently putting the ball in the basket, the fundamental skill that determines playing time at the professional level. Will Reese overcome this efficiency crisis, or is her starting role already in jeopardy? For example, Gurrier and Wilson are converting at astronomical rates compared to Reese's numbers. The WNBA community is currently debating whether Reese should prioritize learning her fundamentals over anything else. The good news is that shooting is a skill that can be developed with hard work, but the bad news is that these problems frequently result from years of this circumstance is especially intriguing since it questions the pre-draft narratives surrounding both players, which can be challenging to break given the intense pressure and glaring lights of professional basketball. Although Clark was well known for her ability to shoot and create plays, there were concerns about how her style would hold up against the WNBA's increased aggressiveness. Reese's physical presence and proficiency at grabbing rebounds were supposed to make the transfer easier, but instead we're witnessing the exact opposite. Clark's skill-based style has translated wonderfully to the professional level, while Reese's physical advantages haven't produced the effective output that many had anticipated. This serves as a reminder that at the greatest levels of play, shooting, ball handling, and footwork are frequently more important than pure physical prowess. The disparity in shooting effectiveness between Clark and Reese further demonstrates how their rookie seasons are developing differently. Despite her double-double output, Reese struggles with the most basic scoring opportunities. Clark has already established herself as one of the league's top offensive threats, able to score effectively from wherever on the court. This discrepancy in efficiency wasn't created overnight. Years of diligent practice have improved Clark's shooting mechanics. Practice that emphasizes technique over results is reliable, repeatable, and resilient to stress. For someone with her athletic advantages, Reese's approach around the basket frequently seems hurried and robotic, which results in squandered opportunities. The irony of it all is that when Reese joined the WNBA, a lot of talk about how her physicality and rebounding 6 months into their professional careers made her game more pro-ready. For Reese, this efficiency crisis marks a pivotal point in her growth, and Clark's skill-based approach has proven more adaptive to the WNBA style of play. How she reacts will probably decide her future in the league. Will she commit to learning the basics of finishing around the rim, or will she keep using her defense and rebounding to earn minutes? The road ahead isn't difficult, but it calls for humility and concentrated effort. Reese needs to train with shooting coaches to improve her shooting form around the hoop and create more reliable mechanics. She must watch videos of effective post players like Wilson and Gurrier and observe how they use the backboard and create space. More importantly, she must admit that this is a real problem that needs to be addressed right away because in professional sports, ignoring a player's fundamental flaws doesn't make them go away. Rather, it only gives opponents an advantage. For Clark, these efficiency numbers confirm what many have already noticed. She is an elite efficient offensive weapon who consistently makes the right basketball play. Her shooting efficiency at multiple levels creates gravity that opens opportunities for her teammates, making her impact even greater than her individual numbers. Clark also provides a clear blueprint for how to defend you. Consider the divergent paths taken by these two well-known rookies highlight a timeless fact about basketball. Your ability to shoot efficiently ultimately decides your worth on the professional level. You can be an outstanding rebounder, defender, and passer, but if you can't put the ball in the basket effectively, you have a limited ceiling. This is not to imply that Reese is incapable of overcoming these obstacles. Basketball players throughout history have improved their skills via hard work, but admitting the issue is the first step, and these efficiency figures make it tough to overlook. Reese finds it especially troubling that as a player struggles, hesitation comes in and causes even more wasted opportunities, making shooting woes more emotional than mechanical. Although Reese's recovery has translated successfully to the Chicago Sky, these data should raise serious questions about her developmental trajectory, since breaking this pattern involves more than just physical repetition. It also demands mental toughness. Professional caliber coaches simply cannot afford to have players on the floor who are unable to convert high-percentage opportunities because of her scoring and efficiency, which restricts how much the team can rely on her in pivotal moments. During close games, the disparity in effectiveness also draws attention to the various offensive roles that these rookies contribute to their teams. Clark frequently serves as Indiana's major initiator and finisher, setting up shots for both herself and other players. Despite this heavy usage, she still maintains a lead efficiency. Given the nature of her opportunities, Reese, who largely completes plays that others create, should theoretically be more efficient. What comes next for both players? For Clark, the difficulty will be sustaining this efficiency as opponents continue to modify their defensive strategies. Tactics against her. Reese needs to essentially change how she finishes around the basket by refining her touch and technique to correspond with her physical tools. The difference in shooting efficiency between Clark and Reese serves as a reminder of the things that are really important in the professional world. In the heat of professional competition, your ability to consistently and effectively put the ball in the basket ultimately defines your value, even while highlight plays and social media presence may create excitement. Angel Reese's shooting dilemma is unavoidable now that the facts speak. A 33-run true shooting percent is equivalent to a 63 in post-player territory, which could endanger his career. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark quietly rises to elite status with an efficiency rating of 58.3% in 6th place. Will Reese correct these basic errors, or will her career be forever defined by the terrible tragedy? Leave a comment with your thoughts. Will she recover, or is this who she truly is? This shooting controversy is only getting hotter, so hit the notification bell and hit the subscribe button for more unedited WNBA analysis.